Welcome to Sports Take with Connor DeKranis and Darius Donaldson.
Yes, sir.
Ariel's going to be out this week, as we said last week, but she'll make a return next week. So,
Oh, yeah. If
Get
you're out
excited.
there listening, we're waiting on you to get back.
we're going to start off with the MLB. Got a lot of discussions again tonight, especially in the NBA, like a lot like last week.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll start off with the MLB. You know, it's the best time of the year, World Series time. Maybe not your favorite time, but it's certainly my favorite time. So, Game 1 last night, Darius.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
Wainwright losing the game to John Lester. It was a tough game. It was a tough game for the Cards. 8-1 loss. Beltran hurt his ribs. He's day-to-day. He's in the lineup for tonight.
Yep.
But it's going to be a tough hill to climb for the Cardinals in this series right now.
Mhm.
Boston looks too good. I've said it the whole postseason. I've said it week in, week out. They were my favorite to win.
That
Still
is
my
true.
favorite. Tonight, first pitch, 8:07. Waka's pitching for the Cards. And we got John Lackey going for the Boston Red Sox. They actually
Yes.
pushed back Clay Buchholz, who was supposed to start tonight, due to a little bit of soreness in his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you have winning tonight?
Pretty much just like you said. I mean, the
You got the Red Sox going tonight? The Red Sox going tonight?
yeah, that's what I was getting at. I like the Red Sox tonight. They just look too good, just like you mentioned. And
A little too many Doritos before the game. Getting a little choked up, right, Darius?
I gotta lay off the Doritos.
I also have the Red Sox winning tonight. Lester's going to come out on top.
Yeah.
I mean, Lackey's going to come out on top. In
Mm-hmm.
Fenway, it's going to be tough for the Cards to win this series.
Yeah.
I've said it since the beginning.
I said, just like you said, they just look banged
I'll
up.
say it
They just-
again. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard game, baseball.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Sox.
gonna move right into the NBA because we got a lot of discussions in the NBA. So Greg Oden is back.
The O State faithful.
Greg Oden.
I'm
mean,
sure
was-
Penn Staters don't want to hear that out there.
Oh yeah, true. Was he ever really here to begin with, though? I mean,
Was
to
he
be
here?
fair.
He wasn't here.
No. I can agree with that. But he actually dunked in his first game since December of
Yeah.
2009.
He looked pretty good. I don't know what the King and D Wade and them are doing down in South Beach, but Greg Oden looks like he's back to the looking like the first overall pick that he was.
See, the thing with Greg Oden is if he stays healthy for, I'll say about 70% of the season, he's
Mhm.
going to three-peat.
I mean, he's only going to be playing 4 to 5 minutes a night.
It doesn't matter. When you get that defensive presence of Greg Oden,
Yeah.
he's going to block shots. Chris Bosh was never that defensive presence for
Yeah.
the Heat. As much as they wanted him to be that
Mhm.
defensive presence, he just
Yeah.
never was. He never articulated into that.
Yeah.
He was always more of a power forward.
And I think he brings a lot more than just defense to the table. I think for the first time that he actually have a legitimate post player threat, someone who can get down there on the block and score. You know what I mean? They've never had that. I mean, Chris Bosh, he's more of a finesse player, more of a jump shooter, not really a post player at all. So
Yeah, and who knows? Oden might be able to drag some attention away from the likes of Wade, LeBron,
yeah.
and Bosh, and which opens up shots for them, which makes the Heat overall a better team.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's a great pickup for them, especially if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, they
Knock
got some
on
guys
wood.
down
Knock on wood for Greg Oden
there.
because
yeah,
the man cannot stay healthy to save his life.
yeah, they're working some magic down there, I think.
Other
Some
news
degree.
coming out of the NBA:
Okay.
the finals format was recently voted on by the owners to move to a 2-2-1-1-1 format.
Yeah.
Okay, that's from the 2-3-2 format that it's been the last 30 years.
hmm
Okay, how do you feel about this, Darius?
To
Get
be
your
honest,
opinion.
I like it. I think it's great. It's about time. You know what I mean? I mean, the NBA, the 2-3-2 format has some holes in it. Teams with the home court advantage, they get the 2 games at home first, and then they go on the road for 3 games, and then they're able to have games 6 and 7 in their building, and that's a huge
Which is
advantage.
crucial.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, we saw that last year.
Yep.
Last year when the Heat won Game 6 at home with Ray
Yeah.
Allen's last second 3, and then won in overtime,
hmm
and then they went on to win Game 7 also at home.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I've been saying it year in, year out. A lot of analysts have been saying it, that they should switch to this format, and I'm glad they're finally taking the steps forward
oh yeah,
to make the change and give away teams really a better chance at winning the finals.
yeah,
Home court advantage is probably more important in the NBA than any other sport when it
Yeah,
comes
you're right
especially
about
to
that.
the finals.
you're right about that.
MLB's right behind, but I
Yeah.
mean, with the atmosphere of an NBA arena,
Yeah,
it's tough as an away team. Especially
yeah.
you get into places like Oklahoma where the fans are absolutely insane.
Exactly. Bananas in there.
All right, moving
I like
on.
the format change.
Moving on. Recently, LeBron.
More King James talk.
LeBron is always in and out of the news. You can't deny that. Always in and out of the news.
Yeah.
But now he's saying he wants to play one NFL game. Ooh,
I want to know what
interesting.
you think of this. That's
That's
what I want.
interesting.
What do you think about the King James telling everyone that he wants to play one NFL game? What do you make of it?
I see it as a little bit of a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already one of the most famous men on the planet, one of the most powerful men, one of the most influential men, one of the most everything.
Yeah.
Right. At the same time, though, I want to see it happen.
Oh yeah.
For sure, I want to see it happen. I mean, recently this week, I was telling you this earlier. A reporter sent out a few scouts, NFL scouts. They remained anonymous. They've been doing work scouting players for decades upon decades combined, right? And 2 of the 3 of them came up with the decision that LeBron James would absolutely flourish in the NFL and would quickly become one of the best, if not the best, players in the NFL.
Wow, the best.
Because I mean, if you just look at his body, all right? He's 6'8".
Yeah, 6'8".
What 6-foot cornerback is going to be able to cover him? Even if he doesn't make plays, he's going to be drawing holding penalties, pass interference penalties.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to hold him down pretty much.
I mean, he has the shape, he has the weight, he has all
the speed, the quickness.
He has everything that he needs to play in the NFL, in today's NFL.
Yeah.
The only thing is, obviously, any defensive player on the field is going to be trying to take out LeBron James.
Yeah.
You got the Shermans out there who are going to want to absolutely knock him out.
Everybody's going to want to take their shot at the MVP of the NBA. This is 3 years in a row, so
it's gonna be a 4th this year.
Probably so.
He's gonna win again this year.
Probably so.
A 5th, I guess. But I mean, in general, I like the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's trying to build up hype. I don't know if it'll ever actually.
Yeah, the thing about LeBron is he loves the hype. We've seen this in the past with him.
I don't blame him.
Wanting to join, he's preliminary, putting his name in the dunk contest year after year. It never seems to happen. I think he kind of just likes people to fantasize about what would have been. You know what I mean? I think he likes that. Everyone likes it. We don't have a problem with it. We're talking about it now, you know?
See, yeah, but my whole thing is, too, he's been in the league for 10 years in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's 27?
27 years old.
27 years old. Okay? Mm-hmm. He has a lot of time left in his professional sports career, whether that be the NBA, the NFL, if he wants to curl for the U.S. national team. He has a lot of he could do pretty much whatever he wants, LeBron James.
He could.
So even if say he wins a few more championships in South Beach. Say he wins 3 more in the next 5 years. Right?
Okay.
Just say that happens.
3 more in the next 5 years.
That puts him at like 32, 33 years old.
Yeah.
Still young enough to compete in the NFL. And he'll be 15 years deep in his NBA career.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, if that were to occur and he has the rings, he feels like he accomplished everything he could have accomplished in the NBA, I could definitely see him trying to make the transition into the NFL.
Yeah. I can agree with you to an extent. I mean, it would be great for whatever city he decides to play for or whatever city that would get him. Fans would love it, LeBron fans all around. But what about the basketball fans? What about the Heat fans who want to see LeBron in nothing other than a basketball uniform? They don't want to see him out there getting hurt, getting hit. No one wants to see that. They want to see LeBron do what he does best.
See, but
that's being on the basketball court.
I mean, that's the thing. But after, say, he plays 15 years in the NBA and then decides to try to make this transition, I have a feeling a lot of fans will sympathize with him and like the idea, support him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not all the fans are going to ridicule him, in my opinion, at least.
Possibly.
It's just a matter of time and seeing what happens, to be honest. I mean, we can speculate all we want, but until he puts on the cleats, puts on the shoulder pads.
Yeah. At the end of the day, he is King James. I think he's earned the right to do whatever it is can dream. Anything he can dream of, he can do.
It's completely true. I agree 100%. Let's move on to Mr. Allen Iverson.
My boy.
He finally calls it quits. 38-year-old Allen Iverson is planning to finally retire from the NBA after playing 1 preseason game in China last year and in Turkey the previous year. He hasn't laced up in the NBA since 2010, I think it is.
Yep.
And basically the question I want to ask you, Darius, because I know you're a big AI fan. I mean, a lot of people are. A lot of people are.
Yeah.
He's arguably one of the greatest to grace the court. Having said that, should he have tried to continue the quest to complete his legacy? Because some argue that his legacy in the NBA is not complete,
Yeah.
He always put up solid numbers, always put up very good
Always.
numbers, but he only played in the league for about 12 years, 11 years, something
11
like
years.
that. 11 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he has potential to put up even better numbers
Mm-hmm.
over his years in the NBA. So the question is now, should he have tried to come back and complete his legacy, or should he be content with what he's accomplished?
Well, as much as I would like to say that AI would be able to return to the league, I don't see it happening. He's at an age, he's 38 years old, and don't get confused, I'm a huge NBA fan, huge Allen Iverson fan, and I believe he can still play at a high level, but not many GMs out there would be willing to take him on, especially with all the problems that he's had in the past with practice and things like that.
Practice?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wait, practice?
Practice? My teammates? No. Pass the ball? No. But no. You know, it definitely saddened me when I read that he was going to retire, because any NBA player will tell you their career is not complete unless they win a championship, you know, and that's where I feel for him the most, because he fought hard in Philadelphia. I think he gave him that city everything he had.
And then even when he went to Denver,
Yeah.
he put the Mile High City on his back, and everyone believed in AI.
And it's like him and Melo, they were supposed to be the tandem. That was going to be it.
Yeah, and then he gets shipped off to Detroit, and the rest is history. He goes downhill from there, and ultimately fails to complete his legacy.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, everyone knows he's one of the greatest players to ever play the game, and that goes without saying.
And I mean, in my opinion, as players get older and older, we've seen more players competing at an older age.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, he could come back if he wanted to, as a 38-year-old.
Yeah, and I'm sure he wants to.
If he was in shape, I'm sure he could. But I just don't know if there's a place in the NBA for him.
Yeah.
That's my whole issue.
Yeah. We're just getting younger and younger.
Mm-hmm.
The league's getting more athletic. It's hard to believe that they're getting more athletic, but they are. And it's just like...
Yeah, it's like, where do we go from here?
No fit for him, but much respect, though.
Oh, a lot of respect to AI. Pay
tributes to great career. I mean, for real, he's probably the reason why I even started watching basketball. Greatest player to ever do it.
Are you shedding a tear right now? I think I see a little bit.
My eyes are watering a bit.
Nah, everyone has that player, Darius. Everyone has that one player who brought them into a sport.
Oh yeah.
Made them believe, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for me with the Yankees, I mean, it was always, Derek Jeter, Mo, Pettit, the core four, Jorge Posada.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was great.
Yeah, there's emotional ties
it brings you into the sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I agree with you. I agree with you entirely. The tear's okay. I'll let the tears go for now.
Anybody got some tissues out there, guys? We're all going to be needing them by tomorrow night.
All right, we got one more story in the NBA before we move out of the NBA.
Okay.
So that survey I was talking about before, Darius, the owner survey, the GM survey, actually. Every year they vote on something they like to call the best player with limited natural ability. Okay.
What does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my problem. What does that mean? According to them, it means a player who may not have like the best touch, may not be the best around the hoop, but is just big, strong, gets in there, and is good basically because of their physical size.
Okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm. They gave this honor for, I think, the third or fourth year in a row to Mr. Kevin Love.
Okay.
My biggest problem with this...
What's that?
Actually, my biggest problem is reverse racism in my eyes. But I'll get into that.
Yeah.
My biggest problem is the fact that Kevin Love is a 6'10 monster.
Yeah.
Beautiful touch around the hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Speed. He's quick. He's arguably one of the best players in the league.
Oh, yeah. Definitely one of the better power forwards that we have in this league.
So, what exactly does limited natural ability mean? Is it the white boy award?
I think it's safe to dub that as it's safe to say that they dubbed that as the white boy award, but it's ridiculous.
Because I just don't get it. This is his third year in a row winning it, and in the past 10 years, 9 of the players that have won it were white. Brad Miller.
Wow.
Steve Nash won it twice. Brian Cardinal back in 2004. I mean, it just boggles my mind.
To be honest, looking at this list, what does Kevin Love have in common with any of these guys? He's a much better player than any of these guys on this list. I mean, arguably besides Steve Nash.
But what I don't get either is limited natural ability. What limited natural ability does Steve Nash possess?
I have no idea.
His quickness limited? I don't think so.
I don't see
his ability to shoot the ball is that
I
limited?
definitely
To
don't
drop
see it.
dimes on the court night in and night out? I don't think that's limited in
And
any
I think
means.
he won the MVP of the league in one
of those years. I think
it
he
was
did.
back-to-back years actually.
I mean, I just don't. It boggles my mind.
Yeah.
And I mean, how far our country has come. To me, it's reverse racism in my mind. I mean, that might be a little over the top, but to be honest, I don't care. I see it. I basically see it as a way to say, "Hey, you're the best white player in the league."
And
I realize, real
agree.
quick, I realize that the league is dominated by African American, and I realize that since the league is dominated, obviously African Americans are probably a little bit better at the sport. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair. But why are you going out handing out awards for the best white player?
Yeah, I think it's highly unnecessary. If you're good, you're good. You're going to get the credit where it's due. And Kevin Love is a great player. I think we all know that. And for this award to even exist, it's like, why? What good can come out of this? You're white boy of the year or something like that? I don't understand.
I mean, to connect it to other awards, I always say the same thing year in and year out. The NAACP always has their award ceremonies. Black Entertainment Television always has their awards.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it a little bit of reverse racism? I mean, it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I were to go out and create a committee, like there are committees out there, KKK, other committees like that. Say I was to make a committee, right? And we were to have basically the white people awards.
Yeah.
Right? I'd be getting hammers thrown at me to make
everything.
Racism, you're racist, blah, 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 blah. Yet when the NAACP holds award ceremonies, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And when they give awards to basically the best white boy in the league, no problem with that at all. So, like, I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. I'm with you on this one. I have no idea why they would have an award as such.
And I will probably never understand it, to be completely honest. But moving on from there, don't want to get too much into a touchy subject. This is a sports debate show, not a debate on racism.
Let's get back to the meat and potato.
we'll get back to it after this commercial break. We'll come back with the NFL, Darius. So hope you get excited for that. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sports Take. I'm Connor DeKranis here with Darius Donaldson.
Aloha.
We're going to move right into the NFL here. Brett Favre is making another comeback.
Oh, God.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. There was interest this week in Brett Favre from the St. Louis Rams, who were trying to get the 44-year-old, allegedly, they didn't deny it, but they also didn't accept it, so allegedly, trying to get the 44-year-old back in pads to play for them after Sam Bradford went down last week with an ACL injury. Do you think, Darius, that Brett Favre could play in today's league?
Do I think he can play?
He's made it clear that he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He's made that perfectly clear, which I commend him for, because he's had problems with that in the past.
Yeah.
But could he theoretically play?
Honestly, I don't see why he couldn't be able to play. I think he'd be able to play. I mean, you get back there. I mean, these days the quarterbacks are needing to be a little bit more mobile than they were back in the day. So I don't know. He would have a hard time adjusting to that. But as far as throwing the ball, I mean, he can throw it better than anyone.
See, that's the thing. He wouldn't be able to be on the run. He wouldn't be able to adapt to today's quarterbacks. He would be the old school drop back and pass quarterback, which teams still do have and would still benefit many teams in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Vikings, for example.
Yes, somebody to throw it. Anyone.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I don't see a problem with him playing in the league. He could definitely do it if he had the mentality, like, I'm going to play.
Yeah.
And got into the physical condition.
But as far as career-wise, it doesn't make sense to come back and play for the Rams.
No. And plus, he's having trouble with concussions, he's been saying, and memory because he thinks of the concussions. So
he has everything to lose, nothing to gain.
Mr. Favre, I know you're not listening, but stay away from the sport.
Please.
You can do all the analyzing you want for NFL Today, stuff like that.
Keep those Wrangler jeans going.
Yep. The Wrangler jean commercials. I like the endorsements. Making some nice money in retirement, I see. But stay as far away from the field as you can.
Yeah, it's not worth it, Mr.
Far away as you can.
Not worth it.
Moving on to Ray Lewis's comments, also along the lines of retiring.
Good to hear from him.
But Ray Lewis said earlier this week that he thinks AP could potentially become the next Barry Sanders. In not terms of playing,
Okay.
even though obviously AP has potential to reach that level.
Yeah, and surpass.
Exactly. In terms of retiring, as most people know, as everybody knows, Barry Sanders retired in his prime very early.
Yeah. What was it? 8-year career he had?
It was 8 to 10. It was somewhere in that range.
Short career.
I think it was 10. I think it was 10.
Yeah.
And he was in his prime.
Mm.
Lots of fans were disappointed in him. I mean, he wanted to go out on top. He didn't like the direction the league was going. He left. Ray Lewis, and you know Ray Lewis, gets a little crazy sometimes. I don't think Ray Lewis is okay up there, to be completely honest. After looking into Adrian Peterson's eyes, thought he saw in his eyes that he wanted to retire. So I find these very interesting comments. What's your opinion? That's basically what I'm getting at. What do you think about his comments? Do you think AP should try to go out on top, or should he try to?
I think what Ray Lewis meant by when he's saying he looked into AP's eyes and seen that he might want to retire. I think we may have forgotten that AP lost his son a few weeks ago, and I think that may have had something to do with the look in his eyes. You know what I mean? I don't know how it feels to lose a child, but I can only imagine that it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the pain will be there for a long time. So it would be hard to kind of get back to your focus on football and things like that. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think he's going to retire. Just put that out there. But I do think the Vikings should be open to trade. Potentially.
Trade?
I think they should be, but we're running out of time, so we're not going to be able to talk about it too much.
Okay.
Sorry, fans. Sorry, people want to know my opinion on a potential Adrian Peterson trade. But let's move right into a rundown real quick. Sunday Night Football, we got Green Bay 4-2 at Minnesota. Big game. Who are 1-5. What do you think?
Yeah, Green Bay's got this one.
Green Bay?
Yeah.
I'm going to actually go with Minnesota. I'm going to go with Minnesota coming off a tough loss. I think they're going to try to prove themselves. Christian Ponder's back in the pocket. We'll see what happens.
What does that mean?
But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Josh Freeman was horrible last week.
Don't even start.
Hard to watch.
Don't even start on Freeman. And I think Peterson has something to prove this week
that
too.
That game was disgusting.
So we'll see. Don't even start. Monday Night Football, we got the Seattle Seahawks visiting St. Louis. The Seahawks are 6-1 on the season. St. Louis is 3-4.
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty easy call for both of us.
Yeah, I mean, who's even playing quarterback for St. Louis right now?
Oh, man, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, if we don't know, then it's over. It's over.
I'm going to have to take Pete Carroll on the Seahawks. And my friend Darius is too.
Yeah, Pete.
Moves us to tonight real quick. We got the Panthers at Tampa Bay. Panthers are 3-3. Tampa Bay, a miserable 0-6 under Schiano.
Go Bucks.
I'm rooting for the Panthers just so Schiano can get run out of that town as fast as possible. Because you all know my feelings on Greg Schiano.
Yeah, Cam Newton might run for like 200 yards tonight.
We can only hope.
It's going to be a massacre.
That's it for us here at Sports Take on Com Radio. I'm Connor DeKranis.
I'm Darius Donaldson.
Have a great night.
Oh, yeah.